Rate adjustment on Letitia Cheevers, effective date 10/4/13. Pay rate adjustment on Ann Jackson, effective date 10/4/13. Pay rate adjustment on Lakeisha McGill, effective date 10/4/13. And acknowledge 6-month work test complete Ann Jackson, effective date 9/25/13.
Chairman, I have a question. I think this work test, I can't remember that that's ever been something in place, but a lot of people that's been passing their 6 months have been stepped up 50 cents on the hour. Some of you, that whatever you see, what you remember about it.
Of course, we're on the tax rate right now, and she's
I know, so that's her.
she's a constitutional officer. She do what she wants to.
Okay.
Okay, the Board of Commissioners Office acknowledge 6-month work test complete with concerns on Denise Ely, effective date 10/8/13. Acknowledge 6 months work test complete with concerns on Helita Ellis, effective date 10/29/13. Acknowledge 6-month work test complete on Renee Quigley, effective date 8/14/13. Under Public Works.
Wait a minute, Mr. Chairman. We have to vote on this.
Okay.
What are the concerns is what I want to know.
If we have an opportunity to do personnel executive, I'd like to discuss those at that time.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going in executive session on personnel without an attorney. It's not going to happen.
I understand.
And if this is fact-finding stuff, then, I mean, it's supposed to be out in the open.
Right.
You said facts finding? Okay. With Miss Ely, there's just some ongoing concerns with her job duties and understanding those duties. And with Miss Ellis, there's some training issues there that I think needs to be provided by the county on the ADG system. There are some opportunities to improve that system across the board that needs to be discussed. That will help not only landfill but payroll as well.
But then why would that have any concern on their 6-month work test?
Because it's affecting how they do their jobs. The system that Miss...
But the system is not their fault.
Right, and that's what I wanted to
As
point
long
out.
as they perform their duties for 6 months in the correct manner and do what they're asked to do, then they should be accepted. As their work test is complete, they move into the permanent staff.
Okay.
That's correct, because
I just didn't want training to be an issue. And I wanted to bring that to the board.
right. I know that my experience with Miss Ely, when I've asked her to do something, she's been very quick to do it, as well as Miss Ellis. And I understand with that solid waste, we don't have the proper computer programs in there that can give. And we've discussed this before, that the board wants reports off of that. And we can't get it with this, and I have no idea how much the software package would even cost to get in here that would give us the reports that we need.
So, Mr. Chairman, on the work test on Denise Ely and Helita Ellis, I'm going to make a motion that they be put on permanent staff.
Do we have a second?
Second to full-time status.
Okay, all in favor? Okay.
All right, let's talk about the clerk. That's supposed to be a 2-year trial.
Don't you start.
I was under the impression all these years, because we hadn't had a whole lot of different clerk changes up here, that the clerk was on a 12 months work test. So that's what we've always done.
Mine was
That's
6
what-
According
months.
to.
Mine was
Okay.
6 months.
Yours was 6
Yeah,
months.
it didn't stop you
But
from
now
firing
you-
me, but it was still 6 months.
But you were under the county administrator, right?
Ma'am.
You were hired by the county administrator.
No, ma'am, he was hired after me. Y'all hired me.
Over his recommendations.
He came down from
'Cause we didn't interview
Barnesville
you.
and talked with me for a couple of hours. But then when I came back before y'all, you hired me, and then he came like a month later.
You said,
Of course, that don't matter with me, I mean, we're at 6 months, 12 months.
according to the March 5th or 21st meeting, it was stated in executive session that it would be 6 months.
All of that. I'll make a motion that Renee be put on permanent status.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in
Just want to
favor?
know.
All in favor?
And, Mr. Chairman, before you move on, now, going back to this pay rate adjustment, now, we've never done this before. We have never, when we carried them from 6 months to permanent, we have never given everybody a raise. Now, that has never happened down. And I'm not sure that it's even in the budget to do this.
Well, that's my concern.
There's nothing on there, there's
Not in the
nothing,
budget.
there's nothing on this right here that says there's a pay raise included.
Right, I mean, I agree.
Right, right.
Mr.
But
Chairman,
with the exception of the clerk,
Yes, there was.
there was a provision that she would get a raise after 6 months.
But did we put it in the budget?
yes, ma'am, you did.
Well, it's in the budget.
We need to check the
We
budget.
said it, if we said it, we implied it. It used to happen.
Amen.
And Mr. Chairman, I don't have a real problem with it as long as everyone receives it, but it appears that some have got it and some have not. And the other thing,
6 months.
if the monies are there, but best I remember when we were doing the budget, I can't remember if we put money in there because for this line item.
Well, when we did the budget, Mr. McDonald, there was no raises in the
That's what I
budget
thought.
whatsoever. None, because
It was
we went back to the 12-13 budget because the money was not there to give raises like we wanted to.
That's right.
There was none given. Okay, so we'll move on to Public Works.
Mr. Chairman,
Acknowledge payment.
question, you said there were no pay raises, but according to open records, there were quite a few pay raises given at the budget time.
That's an issue that we're investigating.
Yeah, we're looking into that right now.
We wasn't supposed to, but we'll find some discrepancies.
Back to Public Works, acknowledge pay rate adjustment for Roy Jackson, effective 10/21/13. Again, there was nothing put in the budget for any pay raises at Public Works. And, it just wasn't any money put in for pay raises.
Mr. Chairman, I got a question on this.
Okay.
Why are we doing a pay rate adjustment? Is this a classification change that we have to do? Or is it just a pay rate? Because you don't just do a pay rate. Once you set that budget, these people have got to be reclassed. And what's going on there?
I'm not aware of a reclass.
There was a request coming from that department head because that particular individual has been doing a lot of different tasks and doing his job, but he's been poor and doing a lot of.
Well, he needs to
tasks.
reclass.
I don't know if you want to reclass him.
He'll have to reclass him to get a pay rate adjustment.
As a pay rate adjustment, we can't approve that. Because the money's not there.
And the money's not there, so we can't even discuss that because unless there's a reclassification for supervisor or something like that, we can't do that. Move on to tax assessors, acknowledge 6-month worst test complete on Shannon Merritt.
Make a motion to accept the 6-month work test, move into permanent status on Shannon Man.
Okay, second.
Effective 10/10, because that was on our last
Yes, ma'am.
Thursday night.
Have a second. All in favor? Bill, did you vote?
Just about, don't you? Did you vote?
Okay. Just want to be sure. 3-0. Under the announcements, Kim Strickland will be attending GLGPA Fall Conference Training in Young Harris, Georgia from November 12th to the 15th. The Board of Commissioners meeting will be held on Thursday, November 21st, 2013 at 7 p.m. on the 3rd floor of the courthouse.
Question on 10. Is the money in the budget?
Yes, ma'am, it has been paid. It has been paid. She is good to go. And if no one else has any...
Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I fail to make one comment, being on the fire department, I have chose to have any and everything that happens pertaining to the fire department for them to contact Ms. Strickland and let them be aware of it. Talked with Captain Tom yesterday, some training that he's going to. I told him I had no problem with it. I thought it was a great thing to enhance things and make things better. So from now on, instead of me calling or trying to run each of you down from day to day, all you got to do is check with her and she will tell you. And if y'all have a problem with it working that way, you can just remove me from the fire department.
Mr. Chairman, on the state training, we don't have a choice if we have a GMA. Or GMA electronic, that stuff is set up a year at a time, and we don't have a choice.
There are some days that it's totally impossible for me to contact and call each and every one of you and explain what's happening and what's going on at the fire department. I'm not gonna do anything that's not normal and up and above board with anything that goes on down there. But I made this decision to have them to call up here and let her, or fax her something and let her know. It's all on paper in her office. And if y'all are all right with that, I'm all right with it.
She forwarded that to us.
Sir?
She forwarded that information to us.
Yeah, we
So
got
all
that
aware.
information.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I got one more thing before we adjourn.
Okay.
Renee, I need you to go back in these 4 or 5 agendas I got up here. I need you to number the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. So I'll have it in my records, okay? No.
That's all I have.
Mr. Chairman, I need to clarify something because I know Ms. Bozeman had made a comment and I just wanted to clarify to people out here because I've heard it regarding the raises within my office, the recent raises and increases. This is not county money that we're getting this money from. According to House Bill 266, it basically states that less than the amount to be retained by the tag agent not to exceed 1% of the total amount otherwise required to be remitted under this paragraph to defray the cost of administration. The new TABT laws, we are allowed to keep 1% off the state's portion to come back into our office to offset the cost of the administration of all these new laws and rules and regulations.
It goes to the general fund.
It goes into the general fund and then it comes back into our office to defray the cost according to Clint Mueller at ACCG. That's why that line was put in there, to be able to come back to our offices.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Priest.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I want to make one more comment, and that'll do me. As far as what comes under the commissioner's office, that's a different situation. What goes on in the constitutional officers, they are elected countywide. I don't need to and don't have to, and I have no problem with whatever they do in their offices. That's their office, they elected to run it, and I don't get involved in what they do or try to get involved. I'm glad to tell people, we have nothing to do with the constitutional officers.
Okay, that's all I have. Make a recommendation that we adjourn and take a 10-minute break and come back and discuss.
Yeah, right.
Let me go see the sunshine and Scott's gonna pick.
So what we gonna do is just recess here for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then do it over here.
Yeah.
I mean, the workshop.
Things like, we ain't having a public hearing that I'm giving.
Workshop.
So we're not-